The new picture disc vinyl box set from German Thrash's Destruction is finally here with me. It's called Tales of Morbid Brains, and I am going to unbox the living Christ out of it. Just physically, it's really heavy, as you'd expect, because I think there's about 8 or 9 vinyl records in here. It's pretty thick, and each long side of the box has the Destruction logo on it, which is a pleasure. I love that logo. What else? There's a lovely label there. I think you can probably read that, can you? Yes, telling you about how there's an exclusive 10-inch live vinyl record in here, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing that. And there's also a book. Let me know down in comments what you use to open up vinyl box sets and the like. I am simply using this pin. Yeah, high-tech stuff and no mistake. While I open this up, let me suggest to you that if you like the look of this channel and the other videos, this is quite a new channel. I started it in February. If you like the look of it, then maybe hit like on this video. That would be wonderful. It really helps get the word around. And subscribe to it. Wow, there's a lovely texture on the front of this box. It's been so nicely done. Silver foil a go-go. Okay, the moment of joy and truth and all that good stuff. Oh, of course I forgot there's a 7-inch single in there as well. Oh my god, okay. This is a bit too exciting. Well, first thing we see is a lovely old school Destruction sticker. Is it a sticker? It is a sticker. This is the original logo, and as you can see, you know, I think it's really cool. It's a really cool logo, but it's not the Destruction logo that we know today. Now, what is this? Yeah, this 7-inch picture disc is part of the Live Without Sense live album from the 80s, and obviously we're going to see the main body of that in here on vinyl. So High Roller Records, I mean, this is the label that produced this, by the way. I don't think I've mentioned this. I love High Roller Records. They always go the extra mile. Sadly, they're unwilling or unable to deliver to the UK at the moment, so I had to get this from Napalm Records. I ordered it for myself as a birthday treat. Yeah, so they've released Live Without Sense previously in this form of an album and a 7-inch single, because I think just the running time of the album is so long that the sound quality would suffer, just like the sound quality of Master of Puppets did back in the day. So what is this lying on top of here? What's this next thing? So what is this 10-inch vinyl? It's from Dynamo. The Dynamo Festival, which I enjoyed going to in, I think I went in 88. I wish I got in 87 so I could have seen Destruction. Wow, yeah, so it's 5 tracks live from the Dynamo. Let me see if I can show you this without reflections. Yeah, Eternal Ban, Unconscious Ruin. Well, that should be Ruins, so that's a bit unfortunate. United by Hatred, Bestial Invasion. Oh, and Confused Mind. Wow, I'm so happy about that. I'm not sure if I've heard a live version of Confused Mind before. I might be wrong, but Confused Mind is one of my favourite songs from Eternal Devastation, which, as you can probably tell by my t-shirt I'm wearing, if you've managed to glimpse that, is, yeah, that's my favourite album, Eternal Devastation. Yeah, so unfortunate about Unconscious Ruin there, but it still looks like a lovely thing. I mean, how cool is that? A 10-inch record. Yeah. Now, this looks very much like... Oh, look, there's the book. This is a book. Oh my god. So this looks very much like a poster, and a very big poster at that. I don't think I'm going to be able to unfurl it in a way that you can see. But just to give you the idea, yeah, this is proper old school. This is proper old school Destruction. Look at those guys. I love it. They look like the Ramones of German thrash back then. They all look the same. Now, how can I get this box out? I have to bear in mind that behind this box lurk several vinyl records. Oh, and when I remove the book, we'll see the first of those in the background. Now, this book feels good. It feels chunky, much like the book in the Creator box set under the guillotine. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not going to go through every page in this video, because I think part of the fun of getting this box set is you know, looking through the book, isn't it? And you don't want to see, I'm sure you don't want to see everything in it. Oh, but there's a quick preview of everything that's in this box. Of course, this box covers everything from the 80s, the 80s phase of Destruction, which is, you know, it's a lot of fans' favourite era, isn't it? I mean, I'm so glad the band are going now, though. I'm so glad that they've got a new album in the can for next year with Napalm Records. Very happy about that. So there's lots of there's lyrics in there and pictures, and there's a foreword here by Schmier and Ollie from the band. Yeah, this book looks great. Now that you've got the idea of what it looks like inside the box, I'm going to switch to this view so we can look at the individual records. Now, each of these sleeves is really lovely. It's in a lovely die-cut sleeve, and each one is sealed, which is pretty cool. I'm not going to take each one out because I think most of us probably know what the backs of these look like now. But let's just go through the albums. What a great excuse to do that. Well, actually, this one is a demo, and High Roller Records, as far as I know, have not released this before. I might be wrong there, but I do know that I already have this on vinyl thanks to Flogger Records from Greece, a very fine label. And you can see here, let's have a look at the tracks that are on this demo. Of course, the classic logo there. So yeah, you've got Mad Butcher is the first track on side A. I mean, some bands just knock the ball out of the park straight away, don't they, with their first song? And clearly that was the case with Destruction, because Mad Butcher is one of those eternal classics that people would probably go mad if the band didn't play it at a show. Yeah, so that's a clear vinyl there from Flogger or Flogger. Tell me what's the right pronunciation there? And then, as most fans will know, we're going to have two versions of the band's debut mini album, because there was two different covers. One for Europe, this one, which is a lovely shade of pink, sort of pinky purple, and it has the band standing there again like the thrash metal Ramones, looking very cool. We like that, looking very similar as well. So that's Sentence of Death, which has some great early tracks on it. The backs of these are all the same, by the way. You got the cover of the box set there, but that's fine. And then the alternative sleeve for Sentence of Death, the US release, is this one, green. And that's a great cover, isn't it? That's a candid shot of the band having a stroll in the park and then settling down for a picnic with their skeletal friend. And this next one is Destruction's debut album, Infernal Overkill, which is a great title, lovely cover. I mean, that's just classic 80s thrash, isn't it? You know, God knows what's going on there, some kind of apocalypse, obviously. And this album has plenty of early Destruction gems, like The Ritual, Death Trap, and Bestial Invasion, of course. Yes, and what a great cover. Love that. Next up is my favourite Destruction album, Eternal Devastation from 1986. Oh my god, what a year 1986 was for thrash. I must make a video just about 1986. Yeah. Now, I know this album isn't going to be everybody's favourite in terms of the production, but for me, I love that treble heavy kind of choppy, chuggy guitar sound that I've never heard on any other album before. It's just an absolute one-off. I don't know what happened there, but I'm glad it did. And of course, some people just don't like that sound. They want a more bass-heavy sound. But for me, this is, you know, that guitar tone is just embedded in my metal unconsciousness or something. Yeah, it's left me in unconscious ruins, I tell you. Or unconscious ruin, if you like. Yeah, tell me what your favourite Destruction album from the 80s is. Which one is your favourite out of these records we're going to look at here today? But I mean, yeah, look at this album. It's got Curse the Gods, Life Without Sense. That's all you need to know. And then you've got Confused Mind and Confound Games and Eternal Ban. I mean, United by Hatred, Upcoming Devastation. I think I've just named all the songs on the album. They're all killers. It's a great album, and I might do a separate video about this one day. Next up is a very special landmark EP in thrash metal. Now, if you're talking German thrash metal, there's a holy trinity of EPs as far as I'm concerned, and this is one of them. And the other two are, of course, Ex-Births of Sodomy by Sodom and Creator's Flag of Hate EP, which is amazing. It's got Awakening of the Gods on it. I think that's the only thing that is missing from the Creator box set. Although the tracks themselves are there, just not the Flag of Hate EP. Anyway, I mean, look at that. That's classic artwork. I mean, even as a vegetarian, I can see the appeal of this. It's great artwork, isn't it? Look at that guy. And look at his deranged alter ego in the mirror. He's mad. He's mad, I tell you. Yeah, it's a 4-track EP. It's got a reworked version of Mad Butcher, that classic old track. And it's got Reject Emotions as well, which is a really technical, about 6-minute long song. And it was a lovely surprise on New Year's Day this year when the band played a live stream show in Switzerland, I think it was, and Reject Emotions was one of the songs they played, which was very impressive indeed. And that live stream is now about to be released as a Blu-ray and a DVD. I'll put links downstairs in the video description if you want to order. This is probably I think this is my second favourite Destruction album, actually. Release from Agony. Now, I already own a picture disc of this, but there's always room for one more. This is a tremendous piece of work. It's probably my favourite technical thrash album, I'd say, because it really pushes the technicality that thrash metal is capable of to the limit, without going, into the realms of masturbation, frankly. Yeah. Which certain bands did, I think, around that time. They just went too far for me. Bands like Pestilence and even, I think, Atheist. Although I need to go back and listen to Atheist again. Some of like that Elements album, which I didn't like at the time. But I should give it another chance. But yeah, songs like Sign of Fear and the title track, Release from Agony, and Dissatisfied Existence. In side A is a lot better than side B, I think. I'll say that. Although there's only 7 tracks on it. I love those days when a band could just totally get away with having 7 tracks on an album. But generally speaking, those tracks would then be better, I think, because more work would have been put into each of the tracks. I think 7 tracks is good for an album. I'd like to see that come back. Anyway, look at that artwork. That artwork would give you nightmares. Absolutely glorious. And now we move on to the main body of that live album I mentioned earlier, which is also in here in a kind of overflow version in the form of a 7-inch single with a couple of tracks on it. Yeah, so there's Live Without Sense, and this is very good. It's got a great cover with the band being controlled by the Mad Butcher himself. Oh yes, it's a good album, and it's got great songs from that era on it, and it captures the whole thing very nicely. Only one more to go from the 80s, and of course it's a weird one, this, because the band's frontman Schmier is not on it. He left the band. He kind of got kicked out, which is crazy. The idea of Schmier getting kicked out of Destruction is just absolutely bizarre. Anyway, it's not a bad album, actually. I mean, it could be worse. I mean, it's still got the band on it. It's still got, I think, the same lineup who made Release from Agony. It's still got Mike's riffs on it. The title track is really good. And actually the cover's really nice. I like that cover. But yeah, as a whole, it doesn't feel like Destruction because, no Schmier. You gotta have your Schmier. Yes. Also, you gotta have Mike as well. I'm kind of disturbed by the news that Mike seems to have left the band. Obviously it's not the band's choice, it seems. It seems to be Mike's choice, but oh no. Then again, I feel like a lot of bands really come back brighter when they lose like a key member. They kind of get someone who's full of energy and new ideas, and they can actually come back better. So hopefully that'll be the case with Destruction. But first of all, we've got one last album that's got Mike on it. So let's see how that sounds. Anyway, Cracked Brain. I think that came out in like 1989 or 90. And it went all very weird for Destruction after that, didn't it? If you're in a country where you're able to buy High Roller Records directly from the label, then I recommend you do so because it's a great label. I'm so sad that they can't deliver to the UK and apparently don't expect to ever be able to do so again, which seems a bit extreme, but hopefully that whole situation will be reversed. So what a box set this is. I absolutely love it. What are your thoughts on what you've seen of the contents of this? I mean, it's not a cheap box set, it has to be said. I think it's more expensive, actually, than the Creator box set. It does have a lot of stuff in it, though. It still has, it has the book, it has the albums, and in picture disc form as well. So it's a really exciting box set for me. I must admit, I'd be up for a rumoured CD box set as well. I can't get enough of buying Destruction albums. I've just picked up High Roller Records' slipcase CD release of Eternal Devastation recently, and that's a lovely release. Yeah, it's just really, really gorgeous looking. So thank you, High Roller, and I will keep buying your records even though I can't do it directly. Anyway, let me know what you think of this. Get down in comments, hit like and subscribe if it pleases you, and check out my book Frontlines Rock down there in the video description. And lastly, metal.